Welcome to Learn It, a series of digital scrapbooking tutorials by Studio Wendy at Scrapbook Graphics. Today we're going to look at the Project Life Toolkit actions. These actions are a way to add a thicker drop shadow to a Project Life app page and add bleed to the outer edge for printing. The Project Life app is available for iOS and soon to be released for Android. And it allows you to pull in your photos like this into these spots along with a journaling card. You can choose between the rounded corners or the square corners in the app. And once you have loaded your pictures and your journaling and your journal cards into the app, you can go ahead and export that to a JPEG and save it in Dropbox. So I've done that here with this page. And I'm going to, so I've already done that with this page, and now I have opened it up in Photoshop. And I've also loaded the Project Life app toolkit actions here. There are two versions. There's the color version and the paper version. The difference is this: the color version allows you to pick a solid color background right here in this white area. And the paper version allows you to select a background paper of your choice to put behind there. Both actions will go ahead and add a drop shadow. So let's go ahead and look over here at these actions. You'll see that we have the shutterfly sizes for 10, 12, and 8-inch books. And then we have a generic 12, 10, and 8-inch version. The generic version assumes that your printer will request 1/8 inch bleed on each side and will trim it down to exactly the 12 by 12, 10 by 10, or 8 by 8. If you don't know what your printer requires, the generic action is a good bet to at least give you something so that your images aren't so tight to the edge here. Let me just briefly show you what this page would look like if I printed it in a photo book without any adjustments. So the first thing the printer would do is resize it to their bleed size. So let's say it's going to be a 12-inch book. They would resize it to the bleed size. Then they're going to crop it down to the trim size here. And you'll see now I only have a thin white border, but depending on where the binding is, you can lose another 1/4 inch. So let's type in 11.5, that's a 1/4 inch off each side. And if you do that, whichever side is on the binding side, that's what this layout is going to look like. It's going to trim off all of that white border. So our goal here is to add in some extra background paper so that that doesn't happen. So for the color version, I'm going to go ahead and grab my color picker tool first. That is I on the keyboard. And I'm going to sample the color that I want my background paper to be. So I can pick really any color I want. I can choose it out of a photo, or if I used the Project Life app and chose a color for the background already, I can sample that color. So just pick whatever color you want for your background and have it set as the foreground color. Then you want to select the action size that you want to run. We'll run the 12 by 12 shutterfly size and press play. We get a message here explaining we need to set the foreground color and press continue. The next thing we need to do is choose the template that matches the design that we chose here. So go into your downloads. In the standard pack that comes with the actions, you get these standard free templates that come with the app. The other templates that you can purchase in the app are available as separate template packs in my store. So you want to go into the 12 by 12 size. If you exported your layout as an 8 by 8 from the Project Life app, then you'll want to choose the 8 by 8 template. If you are running the action on a 12 by 12, even if you want to end up with an 8 by 8, if you exported a 12 by 12, choose the 12 by 12 template. And then you need to choose rounded corners or square corners. And then you need to find the correct template. And if I turn on cover flow here, I can scroll through and see that this is the correct template that I used. And I just need to click open. Then I'm prompted to save the page, and I'm going to go ahead and call this page, let's see, trip05.jpg, and click save. I can also adjust the quality setting here if I want to. And then I am prompted to go ahead and close out of the original file. Let's go ahead and open the original up, and you'll see here, if we zoom in, we have a nicer, thicker drop shadow going around the photos here, and our background has been filled with this teal color that I sampled from one of the photos. So that's how the color version works. Let's take a look at the paper version. In this case, I don't need to set my foreground or background color because I'll be selecting a paper. And I'm going to go ahead and select, let's just select the 8x8 generic action under paper and press play. The first thing I need to do, just like before, is select the template pack, and then I'll be prompted for a background paper. I'll call this trip 04. Okay, and we can see here that my background paper has been added, and again, that drop shadow has been added in nicely. Now, I wanted to show you one more thing. If you open up the templates that came in the pack, and you would have to do this for each one that you want to use in each version. If you open up these templates, you'll see here that there's a drop shadow applied to the template layer here. Zoom in and you can see I'm using a brown drop shadow. But you can change these drop shadows to be your favorite drop shadow style right on the original template. So if you go to your styles, so let's say I want to use a top drop shadow, different angle, I can change the layer style. Let's zoom in, and now you can see I have it going around the top left edge, and this particular style is in black instead of brown, and you can see that change has been made. If I save this on this template, every time I use this template, it will now use the style that I applied just now. Additionally, if you wanted to add a thin white border to your images, you can do that by adding an inner stroke style here. And if I do that, you'll see as long as it's an inner stroke, when I apply the action to it, it's going to keep that. So that's another option for you. Any styles that you put on this layer here will be applied to your image. So that's how you can customize these templates a little bit to make them match your own personal preferences. So those are the Project Life toolkits. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you next time.